Welcome everyone, and thank you very much for being with us today. I am Valeria Perrotta, I'm Elitron's Export Manager, and today I would like to present Spark. Spark is our innovative conveyor belt finishing system for sampling and production. It is in particular dedicated to the digital printing, the cardboard, but also fashion, sign and display industries. It is a very flexible and versatile machine where it is possible to process a wide variety of materials, both in sheets or in rolls. Spark can be equipped with a feeder for materials in rolls, and it also features, as an option, a front pouch to collect the cut pieces. The available working area is 1.6 by 1.9 meters, and it offers a high-performance multi-tool cutting head, which allowed you to cut, mill and engrave. Its advanced technology makes it possible to process different materials during the same session. Spark has a multi-tool cutting head with 4 available slots. On the first one, you can have the oscillating electric blade or the pneumatic blade, or the fixed knife or the router. The second slot is the position for the creasing wheels, the rotary blade, V-cut, kiss cut or the cut and crease wheel. The third position is for the pen or the perforator, and the fourth one is for our camera, for our vision system that allows to correct any printing deformation. On a working area of 1.6 by 1.9 meters, we have 9 different vacuum sectors. They only activate where the actual cut happens, so you don't have dispersion of air, of vacuum strength on the rest of the table. The maximum thickness of the materials that can be cut on Spark is 30 millimeters. On this machine is available as an option the video projection system. It's a very useful device, and it's very useful in particular on not printed materials like, for instance, brown cardboard. This is because it permits to project the digital die directly onto the material to cut for a very quick and easy nesting of the shapes, automatic or manual. This of course means that you won't have any more waste and you can maximize the material yield. Another optional is the Seeker System Pro. It's our patented vision system. Apart from the standard camera, in fact, that we have on the head, there is also a second camera. This is mounted on top of the machine on a separate frame. The camera on the top scans the table, recognizes the printed images, and automatically loads the corresponding cutting file. This is very helpful because it helps to prepare the job in a very easy way, very quickly, without the need of positioning the media in a particular position on the working area. Another available option is the innovative system to read the printed images on rolls materials, and this happens from the underside. This device loads the cutting file automatically for a non-stop and continuous workflow. Now we will finally see Spark at work, processing many different materials, and I will guide you through the different types of cut and tools. We've chosen only some materials, but please consider that Spark performs very well on lots of other materials. So please, if you have any questions, any doubts about other applications, feel free to ask. Send us an email to sales@elitron.com. At the end of the video, we will also see together another video of an integration between our Elitron Plus, the Seeker System Pro and the video projection. The projector projects the digital die on the table, and the operator only has to position the printed material more or less in correspondence of the projected image. The software does the matching, loads the file, and the cut can easily start. Here comes the first material, is a printed canvas, and we will be cutting the shape of a spiral with an electrical oscillating blade. And we can see how precise, how accurate is the blade, even when cutting very small details. In this case, the thickness of the spiral is really narrow. It's just about 2 to 3 millimeters. The second material is fabric. It's very transparent, very stretchy fabric that we are cutting with a rotary knife. It is a typical fabric that is used in clothing industry. It's technical fabric. Here we can see a little detail, and we can see how Spark, with its very strong vacuum pump, managed to keep in place even such a transparent material fabric like this one. The third material is PVC foam, 5 mm. Our SICA system allows us to recognize the reference marks, and therefore it's possible also to select just a few shapes to cut. So we don't need to cut the whole panel, but we can select, like in this case, to cut just 2 of the many butterflies on the panel. Here we are cutting with an electric oscillating blade. And we can see how good is the cutting quality, even on the little corners and on the curves. Now we see Spark multi-tool cutting head equipped with a different tool. So instead of the electric oscillating blade, we have the router, 1 kilowatt router, and we are cutting 4 millimeters debond. So we can see that we are cutting small circles, so very little details, and a rectangular shape. So even on tough materials, Spark performs very well. Now we are using the laser pointer to identify where to start the cut. We are cutting a sort of jigsaw, which is quite a critical shape. We are milling in 2 steps because we want to have a very clear finishing. So now we can see the result. There we go. So the 2 parts of the jigsaw are cut, and now we're going to join them together, and we see that there is a very precise combination of the 2 pieces together and a very accurate finishing. The next material that we are cutting is 5 mm polycarbonate, which we are cutting again with a 1 kilowatt router. As you can see here, we positioned an extra layer in between the conveyor belt and the material to cut. This is just to avoid to ruin the conveyor belt. But we can still see that despite this extra layer, the material is very well in place, so it means that the suction power is still very strong. This is thanks to the 9 vacuum sectors and the fact that by software, so automatically, the sectors open up only where the cut happens. We are cutting this quite difficult shape in 3 steps. This is because we want to make sure that the jigsaw combined together will be perfect. So the 3rd step is actually just to make sure that the milling finishing is really good. And there we go, the proof of how great is the milling quality. This material instead is vinyl, and we are cutting it with an oscillating knife to cut through. And just to cut the surface of the sticker of the vinyl, we will be using the kiss cut. We've also seen at work the camera that just recentered the 4 reference marks and adjust the deformation of the print. Great cutting quality for vinyls. Here we see the precision on the edges. And the bottom part of the vinyl is absolutely untouched. This material is the typical E-flute corrugated board. It's not printed, and we are going to cut quite a complicated box. We will be using the creasing wheel and the oscillating knife. In this case, we decided to position the box just in the middle of the media. But an important feature that Elitron has is the option of the video projection. So with the video projection, you could have projected the digital die directly on the media. So you can do a manual or an automatic nesting. So we're nearly done. Here we are. The box is quite complicated with many up and down. And here we can see the final result. This box was created with Elitron software Elipack. It's a drawing software with an archive, with a library of templates to use and to modify to create your customized box or display. And there we go. And now we're seeing Spark working on a carton board. This is quite a tricky material, and therefore we decided to create a tough mask to put in between the conveyor belt and the carton. This is because with this particular type of material, when you have to cut, for instance, medical boxes or cosmetic boxes, the finishing quality is very, very important. And with the mask, we have, with the mask technique, we have the possibility of increasing the quality level of the finishing. In this case, we are using the kiss cut for the cut through and the creasing wheel. The creasing wheel profile depends on the type of material. We do have a big variety of creasing wheel depending on the different type of media we need to crease. Let's have a look at the final result. Here we're stripping the material, and the cutting quality is really nice, and very visible is also the creasing. And this is a shot of the mask that we just used. The last material is carton again, very thin one, and quite critical because it's the surface is very shiny. So it's not easy to cut and crease without being damaged. So we can see very deep creasing and very nice cutting quality. This is also thanks to the use of the mask. After importing the file, Elitron software generates directly and automatically the file to create the mask. So there's nothing that the operator needs to do. It just has to import the cutting file, and then the machine will create the file to make the mask. So now we're lifting up the material, we are removing the waste part, and you can see some little holes. Those holes were made directly on the mask to allow the vacuum pump penetrating and reaching the material to cut, to be able to keep it in place. So we can see again, very deep creasing and really nice cutting quality. No scratches on the surface. And this is the mask that we used to cut this very last material. We are nearly over for today. I will leave you with a video of the integration of Elitron Plus, the Seeker System Pro and the video projection. I really would like to thank you for your attention, and for any questions you can contact us writing an email to sales@elitron.com. I hope to see you during next appointments. Thank you very much. Bye bye.